This is how much I love the E-Series platform, and this is what I do for you guys. Look at what I spotted, an E550. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'll pull up next to it too. I wonder if there's someone in here. E550, look at that suspension. Two-wheel drive, leaf springs up front. There you go. Basically a dummy axle, like a U-joint two-wheel drive lift kit. People are probably thinking, what's this guy doing? Why is he filming a box van? But there you go. The two-wheel drive Ford Econoline E-Series lift kit that you might not have known about. And I have bigger tires too. Look at that. This thing's riding taller. E550, I believe they were only made for 1 year. But there you go. What is that? 225 70 R 19.5. Strange rims, factory wide body fenders. So if you ever see a wrecked E550 and the front suspension isn't jacked up, there you go. It sits higher than a de-weldtec 5-inch lift kit, and I have bigger tires. This has skinny tires. Well, I gotta check the aspect ratio of that, see how tall these tires actually are, but yeah, sits slightly higher. And I've seen the U-joint video where a previous owner of a U-joint RV had the de-weldtec Designs lift kit, and the owner did not like the de-weldtec Designs 5-inch lift kit on their RV, so they de-weldtec'd it and put the U-joint two-wheel drive lift kit in the van. And when you look at that E550, leaf springs up front for a more controlled ride. That's been my criticism of the de-weldtec lift kit. It's good on day-to-day driving, but mountain passes, I hate how this thing rides. Lots of lane wander, lots of sway, even without the high top roof. So now studying how the E550 is, studying the U-joint two-wheel drive lift kit. It's a dummy front axle, basically, just like their four-wheel drive lift kit, and leaf springs. So yeah, if you got a bigger Econoline build, like a heavier build or an RV, you know, leaf springs up front makes sense.
And then we added our 6-inch U-joint off-road two-wheel drive. Dummy beam axle front suspension conversion, we'll call it. So we removed all the de-weldtec stuff and added in our custom spec leaf spring front with, we're calling our stage 0 beam. So Jeff bought this from a RV dealership with a de-weldtec kit, a 6-inch kit on it already, with some American racing wheels and tires, the bumper and whatnot. And he was pretty displeased with how it performed on the highway.
Let's go ahead and check out that E550 one more time. Here's some 350s right here, and a GM van. And then when you see that 550, it just stands out. Maybe I'm sick in the head. I noticed it right away. I said, something's going on with this van. It is, it's an E550. So this is my second van build. My first van build was on an Action Van suspension lift kit. This current one's on a de-weldtec Designs, and I've been consistent with my feelings. I feel Action Van suspension and de-weldtec Designs are on the same level. Let's go around, less traffic. But yeah, I've always said it, they're on the same level. Call both companies. Who do you like talking to more? Give them your money. So if you install it yourself, Action Van's cheapest 5-inch lift kit's like $2,200. de-weldtec's cheapest 5-inch lift kit is I think $2,700. So if you could do it yourself, obviously save a lot of money on the install price. So if you get it installed at Action Van, I believe it's $4,500 installed. If you go to de-weldtec Designs, their cheapest 5-inch lift kit is, I believe, $7,500. And then that's when you gotta start reevaluating things. If you go $2,000 to $4,500, that's a long ways away from U-joint's $20,000 two-wheel drive lift kit. So, you know, But then when you go Weldtec Designs and then you go their top of the line kit, you start adding, you know, all their accessories are getting up to 15-20 grand. Then you gotta start thinking to yourself, should I have just got a U-joint two-wheel drive lift kit for 20 grand instead of a two-wheel drive Weldtec lift kit with a bunch of boxes and bumpers? You know, and then there's the other companies, AJ's four-wheel drive, I believe they're $20,000 installed. Advanced four-wheel drive, I believe they're also around 20 grand installed. So then you got to think, what am I doing? Am I just going to the beach? You know, am I parking lot overlanding, looking good for Instagram in my driveway? Then you don't need four-wheel drive. But then once you want to start getting into more treacherous trails, or you want to snow camp, then you might want to look into four-wheel drive. So I know a couple of people who have had Weldtec two-wheel drive lift kits and then they went U-joint, and you know, I'm thinking about it also. You know, should I have gone? Now, I never thought I would have thought to myself, should I have gone four-wheel drive? But the more and more I see people talk about like how much nicer the four-wheel drive vans ride, like stability-wise. Now I'm thinking to myself, man, yeah, am I gonna do it someday? We'll see. We'll see how this channel grows. So here's another truck I saw, F650. I wonder if that E550 suspension is the same as this F650 that I saw a couple of weeks ago, comparing the suspension and how everything works. Now I'm seeing why, you know, U-joint kind of puts down, you know, the two-wheel drive lift kits. You know, it's, of course, it's nothing compared to what they have. For the price, it better blow the competition away. And that's when you got to reevaluate all the accessories you're putting on your van. Do you want to go functionality, or are you trying to look cool? Because if you're trying to look cool, it gets expensive real quick. You know, when you add all the boxes, the sick add-ons, the bumpers, you know, the rims, tires, you know, you could just go straight to like a AJ's or Advanced for 20 grand, or, you know, go big boy and go U-joint. Needs a U-joint lift. I've seen U-joint lifting a lot of these lately. Yo, U-joint, want to hook me up? Let's U-joint two-wheel drive this. You could do another de-weldtec video. This is why I love lifted vans. Even next to a F650, they're still big. Yeah, V10. Yeah, V10. But check it out. Look at the suspension on this thing compared to what I have. So a leaf spring, big leaf spring, and a single beam. So that's probably why people with RVs are de-weldtecking their RVs, to put a U-joint in, put a leaf spring in there, something more heavy duty, to limit the sway. So that's my goal, to limit the sway in this thing. It's not too bad though, even with the high top roof. But yeah, if I were to do it all over again, knowing what I know now, yeah, I would have got the U-joint two-wheel drive lift kit. But that's what experience is, right? I've had the Action Van, I've had the Weldtec, they're similar. Now I'm seeing U-joint talking about de-weldtecking RVs and vans for their stuff. And then, you know, the gears start turning in my head. Why are they de-weldtecking things? Well, inspecting what they have, it's more heavy duty. So here's something really heavy duty, F650, and yeah, that's not some bent I-beams down there. It's just like basically a dummy axle. So something to think about, guys. If you guys have the means to do a U-joint two-wheel drive or 4x4 conversion, go for it. And if you don't, that's okay. Weldtec and Action Van are fine, better than stock. But as this market evolves, there's other ways to do things now. U-joint 4x4, $30,000 conversion. If you got the money, do it. Top of the line right here. They even make a two-wheel drive lift kit, same components, dummy axle, but all the proper hardware to convert to four-wheel drive. You just need the axle, four-wheel drive axle, and a transfer case to complete it. So start off spending 13 to 20 grand, and then put another 10 grand in if you want to go four-wheel drive eventually. Sunseeker. I think that's the one U-joint de-weldtec. Think about U-joint. I've been doing this for 13 years now. This is not a fad for me. If my YouTube channel reaches 100,000 subscribers, I'm not getting a Sprinter. Still gonna roll in an Econoline.